Cool. Webcam is on. No problem. Alright, I need to start. I need to get the chat though. Pop out chat. Grab copy. Boom. Docs. Browser.url. Play. Yeah, cool. So
our chat area. So we're going to find our source that we have for our chat, and I have mine labeled as YouTube chat browser source. So I'm going to right click, go to properties, and since it's blank, we're going to go into, so we're going to find our source that we
okay,
have.
browser. YouTube chat.
Our chat, and I have mine labeled as YouTube chat browser source. So I'm going to right click, go to properties, and since it's blank, we're going to go into control V, hit OK, and there we go. So I'm going to type in here in the chat, I'm just going to say hi, and then there it is right there. So every time you have to stream, you have to go and set this up. So that's the only downside to it. So it's easy to set up, it's just tedious to have to constantly do it over and over and over again, because the stream chat and everything changes every time you start to stream. So that's the only downside to it, but that is at least your workaround for it.
Alright, cool. So if I go there, go here. Yeah, perfect. Alright, cool. So I want a Ferrari inside my ears. Where's the actual? Alright, cool. Let me just put this here. Cool. I'm gonna put it here. Alright. But then do I need it? No, not really. Alright, cool. I can put it here. Cool, that makes more sense. Alright, so if I just widen this, shorten that. Alright, cool. Cool, so let's go on school, boom. Edit. get it. So let's go live. Oh wow. Okay. What chat says? No, it's cool. Alright, cool. So we're live. Alright, let's go. So alright, what's good, guys? What's happening? What's happening? Shit, these charts, man. Some big moves have been happening still. Alright, so cool. Alright. What's good, bro? Okay, U30. It's one of the things I'm interested in today. I still think we're gonna go higher though. There's no trade. To be fair, we've done a madness since yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. We have done a madness. Where is my YouTube chat though? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Alright, hold on. So this can come down to. This can come down. I need this. Oh, where did it go? Alright, here we go. So that needs to stay here. Okay. Alright, cool. So live. We live for the session. Let's see what we're going on with New York. So we had some big movement yesterday in the charts. For those that were active yesterday, oil was done a madness. Gonna go through oil today. US 30 though, I think we're gonna head higher. We're gonna head higher today, and then we might get some potential moves this afternoon. But I want to see us head higher into this area and then see what develops as we do that. So Let me know if you guys trade, what pairs you guys trade, if you want me to look at anything specific. But US 30 is kind of the main thing, or indices is the main thing today. Just based off of the fact of what is done yesterday, I think we're going to head higher. So if we don't take out these highs first and we drop down, you know, going into this session, I'll be looking to buy this. If we take out this higher first, then no trade. So let's see what it does. It's stalling at the moment. The area I'll be interested in buying will be right here. Yesterday's area. Right here. We also got another area right here. So this is the area. If we don't take out the high, I want us to come into this area and then we'll get some buys potentially. Who trades? Anyone trade US 30? No one trading US 30. So that's one area. Why is my thingy moved? I must have moved that. Okay, cool. So see, I got my alert set. What I'm looking at potentially, if we don't take out the high right here, then I want us to come down and then I want us to go up. So that's my plan. That's the plan for today. So yeah, let's see, man. That's what I want to see. But again, things can change. If it rockets up first, then it invalidates my idea. I wouldn't expect it to basically do this first, then come down and then be a buy. Like that's not what it's not what I want to see. So if we can go up, if we can come down, then go up, then great. If it goes up first, then I'm going to reevaluate, because this is an area where we can actually start to see sales happen. So that's what you got to be wary of. Yeah, if something invalidates your idea, and then once it invalidates your idea, then you start to see something develop that is against your bias, then don't still stick with your bias, because you're going the wrong way, and that's when you can get yourself into problems and stuff. So yeah, hope you guys understand that. That's the target today. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I want to see it go down first, then up. If we do, I understand why it's doing that. If we don't, then we reassess other pairs. So speaking of other pairs, this is what the dollar is looking like right now. So the dollar was very, very easy read in terms of what we saw yesterday. It tapped up, took out these highs, the liquidity got taken, and then it's been drawn down quite heavily, right? So this area is the last area it could potentially get bullish from. So basically start to get stronger in strength. If this area doesn't hold, then it's going to go for these lows and continue to trend down lower. So again, what I kind of want to see for the dollar, if this area does get stronger, start to show some type of structure that's going to make sense for what we're seeing there. Yeah, but if it doesn't, then again, I think it's going to potentially falter through this level and target the lows, and that will mean that the majors are going to push up. So looking at the majors, if you got Euro USD, for those that trade Euro USD, again, there's reasons for it to go up to target the high. So again, if the dollar doesn't get stronger and it continues the weakness, it's gonna go higher, which is fine. You can see what it done off the bigger time frame anyway, in terms of if you look at the daily time frame, right? We tapped back into that zone, we gapped down into it yesterday, and then yesterday it just continued pushing from that area. So yeah, it really depends on what it wants to do. If it goes higher first and takes out the high, then we need to then assess what it wants to do after doing that. But right now, there's no specific trade in regards to Euro USD. Again, if it comes down first and leaves the highs, then we can start to assess if we're going to get any buyers on it. But right now, the area is in. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't sell it either. You need to see a little bit more, to be honest. But yeah, I discussed these ideas in my free community, guys. If you're not a part of it, right? And there's no, you know, you don't need to pay. Please join my free community. I'll put the link. The link's in my bio for those that are watching, but I will put the link in the description as well. So yeah, there's a few things to do. So Euro USD again, it's kind of sideways this morning. If it's sideways, you don't have a trade, right? You got to kind of depend on what the dollar is showing you. So don't force anything, you know, especially after a move like you've had yesterday. You need to kind of wait for the market to recalibrate and show you your setup, your confirmations, what you like to see. Really and truly, that's what you want to do. GBP USD again. GBP USD is mimicking what the dollar is doing in terms of the dollar getting weaker. So I think personally, we're probably going to take out this daily high, make a new higher potentially. Then we'll reassess what it does after that. But again, no reason to kind of force anything. We're at a area where, you know, it's taken out some highs, but it's still inside this level here, and there's no reason to sell it. There's no structure giving us an indication to sell, so we don't need to sell. If it pushes down lower without taking that high, then again we got to potentially look for buyers, right, from lower. But if the more you look at the structure, the more you can see it's trying to go up. So yeah, guys, what pairs do you guys trade? Does anyone trade anything specific? Is anyone trading, or is anyone interested in trading? Does anyone have any questions? Let me know in the chat. GU. What about GU, bro? What are you asking? This is GU, but what are you asking specifically? This is where we're at with GU. The market gap down. It rocketed up yesterday, and today has continued. So there's nothing really, from an analysis perspective, there's nothing to do here. It's just continuing higher. So you never want to chase the market. You never want to start FOMOing and thinking just because the market is moving, excuse me, that there's a trade on your hands. It's not always the case. Let's get some water quick. I hope you guys understand that. Just because the market is moving doesn't mean you should be trading. Yeah, if you don't have your confirmations being met, you're just chasing the market. That's what dummies do, yeah? That's what the dummies do. So let me guys know if any of you guys are trading any of these pairs, what your thoughts are. What do you think going into the market? Right, let's check US oil. US oil was textbook. Textbook. So weekly area of interest. We had the daily high captured on Thursday. And then going into the 4-hour picture, you start to see structure breakdown. So this was real textbook. As you can see here, this is the type of move that makes millionaires, honestly speaking. Those are the days you can become a millionaire, truthfully. Now obviously you need the right amount of capital, but if you have a good amount of capital behind you, you can become a millionaire just off of that, truthfully speaking. And it's clear and concise. So I'll walk you through it. The high got taken, right? Ever so slightly, but again, that's all it needs. Liquidity got captured. After the liquidity was captured, you then started to see the market fall down on the Thursday. Going into the Friday, it consolidated, right? And ended right here. Right? The market ended. So Friday, there was no trade. Even though you've got an indication it may want to go lower, there's no trade on the Friday. Okay? So there's reasons why you don't have to force anything. So you've got swing low right here, swing high right here, which made the liquidity grab, and then you see the market dip past and breach that swing low. Once that happens, guys, yeah, that is a shift in market structure. That's a break of structure, change of character, whatever you guys have been told or referred to it as. That is what that is. So once that happens, that is the inkling to say this market wants to go lower now. Now it's about your entry. Now it's about where do I want to enter from. So going into the reason it's done this, right, is based off of the liquidity that's resting above. You know, people that would have been selling here, is targeting the stop losses, yeah? So there's stop losses resting above here. Those that trade like break and retest, right, as this would have pushed past this level or pushed past this area, people would have thought it was a broken retest, and they would have been looking to go long or buy, for those that don't know what long means, right? So that means that it's manipulating. It's a manipulation. That's what's happening. It's manipulating to get to that area, trigger out people that were shorting or selling. Say to the people that were thinking this is a break and retest, it's going to go higher, it's broke this area of resistance, right? Support and resistance, a lot of people trade that. And then it doesn't do that. It goes the opposite way, okay? So once you see the indication of the swing low, swing high, you see it break past the structure point, right? That's your inkling to say this is going to get ready to go lower, okay? Now, excuse me, you have this area right here, right, where some people will look at that as the eye candle or institutional area, right? But you also have this eye candle where the origin, if you want to think of it like this is the origin, right, of where the market started flooding down from. Where the actual selling pressure came from was inside this candle here, right? So once you understand that, yeah, your area of interest is the eye candle fair value gap combo, yeah? This is where you want to be trying to enter, and your stop loss is going to be above here. Yeah, it's going to be above there. That's what you guys have to understand. Don't make trading hard, because it's not hard. You either have a setup or you don't. Those that think that you can trade every single day are mistaken, because again, let me walk you through it. Thursday went down. Friday, right, let's just look at Friday, right? Let me just make that clearer. Zoom in, right? Look at Friday's price action. So, Friday, midnight, whatever. London session starts right here, 8 a.m. New York session starts right here, yeah? So, throughout the whole London, New York session opens, there ain't really any move. There's no trend. There's no direction. So, if there's no direction, you're just going to be trading a consolidation. You don't want to trade a consolidation. All that is happening in a consolidation is people are buying and selling, right? And if you're buying and selling in the consolidation, your money is either going to be below or it's going to be above here, right? That's where the dummies are. That is where people that don't understand you don't trade every day. You're either going to be selling, right, and your stop loss is here, or you're going to be buying and your stop loss is there. You don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to put your money where everyone is putting their money. Do you get it? The retail traders have been taught to put their money in above a supported level above a resistance level or below a supported level, right? So if that's the common consensus, all you're doing is filling this area with money. Think of it like a swimming pool, yeah? You're adding your 50, You're adding your money to the swimming pool. You're throwing your £50 in here. Everyone's flooding this with £50. £50 here, £50 here. The pool's getting bigger. So anyone that trades consolidation, good luck. Like, I'm not saying you can't make money when the market does go up, does go down, does go up. You can make money. It's just not really what you want though. It's not, none of these candles are better than this candle and this candle. None. Right? Even this candle on the breakout is better than all of this. So you have to understand that first. And if you can't understand and sit on your hands when you don't have a trade, then you might have a gambling problem. You might have an addiction. You don't need to trade every day. The more you look at professionals and the guys that have lived to tell the tale and they really made a career out of it, ask them if they trade every day. I guarantee they say no. Ask them if they trade all year round. I guarantee they say no. Certain times, right, when you make good money and you make a killing, Yeah, that's when you need to actually take the time off. Stop getting greedy and think you're gonna go on this amazing run and change your life. Like, not saying it can't happen, but enjoy the moments of when you actually see success. That's what you need to understand. Every day, traders don't see success. I guarantee you, because you're over trading. Essentially, you are over trading. So it's very important you guys understand that, right? Yes, you got to show up to the charts. You still have to look at the charts, but you're gonna know, according to, or hopefully anyway, according to your strategy, what you want to see. But if you're trading consolidation, understand you are putting your money in the same place above and the same place below that everyone has. Yeah, everyone is doing that. So the same thing happened here. If you think about this higher here, if you think about the swimming pool, why do you think it's grabbed the swimming pool? Why do you think it's gone into it and dipped this? It's dipped the swimming pool because it's grabbing the money in there. Yeah, there's money all inside it. That's what you have to think about. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know if you guys understand that concept of what I'm saying. And don't just, believe in what I'm saying. Go and actually backtest what I'm saying. Every time you see a consolidation and it raids one way first, go and see if it raids the other way. Consolidations normally don't get left. Hey, bro. Yeah, what's good, bro? You got a question? Right, let me just check YouTube. So yeah, if you're not following me on YouTube, go on my YouTube as well. Institutional J. There's a lot of content I got in there for you guys. Please like and subscribe. You'll see more of what I'm saying on there than you will in the short form content. Like, try and take in some of the long form content. You'll understand more. Any questions? Let me know. Let me check this YouTube chat. What's your thoughts on the dollar over the next quarter? Right, so for me, the dollar, a good question. So for me, the dollar is bearish, right? We're not seeing anything bullish overall. If this area doesn't hold, we're going to make a new low. And it really depends. It's hard to say, like long term, what the dollar's going to do, because we don't know how the geopolitical tensions are going to play out fully. And if we don't know how they're going to play out fully, it's really hard to understand the overall direction. It could change. Anything can change. Like, this quarter is going to end at the end of June, by the way. So we're going into the third quarter when July starts. For those that don't know, the quarters and stuff, and they don't check that high of a time frame. You want to see what the dollar's done this quarter. Is flooded down. The start of the year flooded down. So as soon as Trump was elected, the dollar's actually gone lower, right? So it's really, really important to understand that aspect of it. But what I would say is, unless we see some easing in regards to the tariffs, if the tariffs don't ease, I can't see anyone pouring into the dollar right now, right? If the tariffs, in terms of like what they got going on in China, I can't remember who else they inflicted tariffs on, but I know the Chinese one was the highest, right? But if you don't see any of like the trade talks getting better between those two economies, the dollar isn't going to do well. So this is the last area, in my opinion, as to where the dollar can get stronger from. Now, Chairman Powell's actually got a speech this evening, for those that are interested in what he has to say. For those that know who Chairman Powell is, the Federal Reserve chairman, right? If this area doesn't hold, then we're going to go lower. We're just going to continue down lower. I can't see us getting stronger, right? And that's important. So for me, I need to see some type of structure to suggest that this is going to go higher. Now, all the dollar did yesterday was take out these highs that was resting here. Because again, for those that understand the liquidity pool, it's all it is just money resting here. It's dipped the money and it's dropped down. Okay? So since it's done that, we've flown down. Now, what actually aided in this coming down was the fact that Donald Trump come out. I don't even know what time it was, but I woke up to the news that he said that there's a ceasefire happening with Iran and the other country. And since that's happened, the dollar's actually got lower. So basically, it means that if the tension eases, the ceasefire happens, and there's no war is actually good for the dollar. People will invest more in the dollar because it's the world reserve currency, right? So if the tensions ease, then realistically, you have to understand that, excuse me, the dollar's gonna go lower, right? People are not gonna hold as much dollars if the tensions become better. If the situation gets better, basically, people are not gonna hold the dollar. But if the situation gets worse, right, the dollar will go up. So what you can see with these gaps when the market gapped up, right, the reason the dollar went up is because of the airstrikes that happened over the weekend. That will force the dollar higher because of the ongoing tensions. So you got to kind of have an eye on what's happening in the news, the real news, not your BBC news, the news of, you know, the geopolitical tensions, like what's happening with America, what's happening with China, what's happening with Russia, all the global powers, superpowers, if you want to call them that. You have to kind of keep up to date with that as well to really figure out what's going on. But yeah, if the dollar doesn't get stronger in regards to this area, I think we're just going to continue heading lower. But just bear in mind, we are entering the third quarter, and then we're going to have a brand new 3-month candle. Yeah, so we have to think about, okay, what can we see on this time frame where the dollar could potentially get stronger from? It is in an area on the quarterly it could potentially get stronger from, potentially. But again, it's not just the technicals, right, that we need on our side. We kind of need what we're hearing in the news to get a bit more positive. So nothing really from a perspective of we have a trade on our hands. Again, the dollar's just going sideways inside this area here. Until we start seeing structure shift or structure actually get in our favor, there's no reason to actually think the dollar's going to get stronger, right? But that doesn't mean you sell it neither, because it's in an area it can get stronger from. So that's just what we need to see. So when you go into Euro USD, again, it's going to mimic what the dollar is doing, which is sideways, right? Because there's a very, very heavy correlation there. So we need to see what's going on there. For me, again, I don't see why the dollar, Euro USD doesn't go for this high. It could fall down first. If it does fall down first, we will start looking for buys. Okay. Same with GBP USD. Again, we're near the highs. We've taken out this high here, right? But there's also this high here. I do think we're gonna capture it for some reason. Where's my I had an alert. Yeah, I don't have an alert on here. So when you have an alert, guys, don't just place an alert. Make sure you're typing what it is, right? Daily high captured, right? So you know that, okay, cool. Now it's about watching that level. So a lot of people as well, they don't label their alerts, which is weird to me. If you're putting an alert, what do you want to get alerted for? Sometimes, like, I don't know about you guys, like, I use multiple alerts. So it's hard to keep track on what the alert was for if you don't label it, if you don't have a name for it. It's all good saying the price, but what was your thought process? So that's a little tip. Like, whenever you place an alert, have a reason and an understanding of what you're getting alerted for, so that when you go back to the chart, you realize what the thought process was regarding the alert. Yeah. So don't just use alerts and it starts going off and it's just GBP USD 1.36 whatever. Okay, what about it? Yeah. Always remember, like, don't just set alerts and use them for no reason. It doesn't make sense to do that. So again, we've pushed up higher. We took out Thursday's lows going into that Monday, and then that was the catalyst to push up higher. So there's no trade right now, right? We either have to see the dollar get stronger, which will potentially push this lower, and then we could potentially look for buys, or the dollar gets weaker and this continues higher, then we have to reassess what is going on. Who else got questions though? Money Day. Anyone else got questions? Don't be shy, man. I'm here. It don't matter what level you're at. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner. Doesn't matter, in regards to where you are in your journey. I'm here to help you guys. So just remember that, yo. All right, cool. So yeah, it's just a waiting game. That's a part of trading, guys. You gotta understand. You're gonna show up to the chart, and some days it's not ready to move yet. It's not ready to go just because you're ready to trade. That's what we have to understand. Just because you show up doesn't mean the market has to abide by or give you and facilitate some type of entry in the market. Yeah. I wish it was that simple. It's not. So oil, after tanking down, again, it's in a range. You see everything that I'm looking at, right? Is it showing me anything that I should engage with? Why would I want to engage with this? Why would we engage with this? Yeah, it's going nowhere. All you're going to be doing is buying, selling, buying, selling. You're just adding liquidity. So wait for it to do something. But one thing I say about oil, if the ceasefire is like permanent and like the situation gets better, oil will continue lower, which is good. But if it gets worse, if the situation gets worse, and that country that's moving like the aggressor right now continues moving like the aggressor, and something happens, this is gonna keep going higher. Yeah, so always remember, like, the time frames do not lie. Like, this is where we are on the bigger time frame. If we get into this area here, right, past the 64, 63 level, something could happen in the world and that just pushes the price up again, right? But again, the reason this is coming down is because Trump has announced the ceasefire. So because he's announced the ceasefire, you saw the sell-off. Now, to me, it's probably a little bit inside the trading going on, because as this is flying down, right, it's flying down during the night time. So they would have already positioned themselves when the news broke, because I believe the news broke at like 9 p.m. GMT, UK time, right? And it's like, by that time, the New York market's closed anyway. So I reckon they would already position themselves in that regard. So I hope that makes sense. Does anyone trade oil? What pairs do you guys trade? Let me know. But yeah, no trades as of yet. NQ, NG. Oh, you trade natural gas? Okay. I've never. You know what? One of my boys, he actually works for a big gas company. He trades natural gas as well. He made a killing off this move. But yeah, I'll look at Nasdaq for you as well if you want me to. But the Nasdaq, again, based off of 100 EMA doji entry. Yeah, I don't actually use indicators, bro. Unfortunately, I don't use indicators. Right, so Nasdaq. Right, so Nasdaq is pushed up again. It's near. I think we're near monthly highs. Yeah, so we're near some monthly highs. So the Nasdaq is due to make an all-time high. We're near all-time highs on the Nas. Right, so it has done a great recovery since Trump announced them tariffs. Since he announced the tariffs, the Nasdaq's just been flying up higher. So it's definitely still bullish. But the fact that we're near these levels too, like right here, again, think about what's resting above here. It's likely to go for that. It's likely to go above that. Now, it doesn't mean just press buy again, right? It could form. Need a break and retest doji, close above for buyers, below for sellers. I don't really know about specific candles, bro. Like, I don't, I know what a doji is, but I don't necessarily need it to print as a doji in order to, influence my decision. The candle itself doesn't really mean anything to me. So Yeah, to me, I think it's gonna go above here. If it does go above here, it's gonna capture the liquidity, and then once it captures the liquidity, maybe we get a retest. But it could just continue pushing as well. So the Nas, excuse me, for me, the Nas, it pushed up quite late, and then it opened up here, and then we've continued the push in the morning, and then even in the New York session is pushed. So for me, there's no trade on the Nas right now unless it comes down lower first. If it came down to this level, I would look to trade. But I would look to buy is what I would say. Strategy. I trade price action, bro. I literally just go off of what the market structure is showing me, and use smart money concepts, smart money confirmations. So here and here. This is what I'd be this is where I'd be interested. If it comes down first. If it takes the higher first, then I don't have anywhere to target. There's no take profit. It has to come down first. Do you trade gold, bro? No. I stay away from gold. Gold, I'll be real, yeah. Gold is one of the worst pairs to trade. And I will stand on it. I don't care who wants to fight me off of that comment. Gold is a shambles. If you're getting into trading, do not start with gold, bro. I don't care what no one says. The wicks on that alone are very difficult to overcome. It's too wicky. It's very difficult to just rely on technical analysis because gold is so manipulated that it will just wick you out of your position and then keep going. I took my biggest losses on gold. I do not trade gold, bro. I don't recommend trading gold. Honestly, I don't. Now, can you be mad profitable? Of course. If you're going to learn or you really look at the market and understand it, gold is one of the worst pairs to get into. Truthfully, it is one of the worst pairs. It's too manipulated. I don't trade gold. I stopped trading gold in 2021. I went back through the year and I looked at my results for the year, and gold was killing my results, bro. It was killing me. And it doesn't matter about, how many confirmations you have, all of that stuff. It just wicked. It kept wicking my stop losses. Not by much, but you have to have, wider stop losses for what is necessary on gold, in my opinion. So no, I don't trade gold. I don't like that pair at all. Not a fan of gold at all. I can look, if you want me to look at it for you, it's probably super bullish. Because the dollar's dropped, it's probably super bullish. But do I personally look at gold? Hell no, bro. Better to play a game of roulette than gold. No, facts. It's not even a joke. Okay, so gold is actually coming down. So it's coming down. To be fair, it is quite high. It's not bearish though. It's just coming down for it. Like, bro, let me make you understand something, yeah? Look at gold on the bigger time frame, yeah? This is not bearish, bro. This is trending up. There's nothing bearish about this on the bigger time frame, bro. So you need to understand, right? Just because something is pushing down, right? It's just retracing. It doesn't mean the trend. You gotta understand the term bullish or bearish, right? Is the trend. That's the actual trend. If it's bearish, then the structure should be confirming it's bearish, meaning you're going to be getting lower highs and lower lows. There's nothing lower, higher, lower, low about this. This is going up, bro. This is making higher highs. We might be making a higher low. So be very specific with your understanding of what bearish means, right? Bearish, just because it's coming down, doesn't mean it's bearish. It's just pulling down. If something flies up, right, for all this time, and then it pulls back, does it mean it's bearish? No. How? It's still going higher, bro. So if it's making higher highs, there's nothing bearish about this. It's just retreat. You haven't, for those that understand market structure, yeah, if something is bullish, it's going to be doing this. So because it's coming down now like this, we're going to say it's bearish. No. This is making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. That's exactly what it's doing. Yeah, there's nothing bearish about this. So you have to understand, on a smaller time frame, it's gonna be bearish, but that's not the trend, right? I hope you understand that there's a difference between saying something's bearish and actually having the structure to back it up, or it's pulling back. A pullback, right? A retracement is normal to make a higher low. You need a retracement to make a higher low. Otherwise, how do you get higher low? You can't. It has to pull down. So that doesn't make it bearish. It's just retracing, bro. Look how high it is. Right? Let me just get rid of that drawing quick, right? The more, look on the 3 month, on a quarterly time frame, what is bearish about this? It's printing green up candles, bro. There's not, it's just pulling back. Even if we get a next 3 month candle, right? Let's say the next 3 months printed down. Let me just change this, right? Let's say the next 3 month candle, like it closed there and it pulled down low. It still would be bullish. Do you understand? It still would be bullish. Now, would you be able to sell and make profit? Of course, but the trend itself it would not change. So you have to understand what you're saying, bro. Just because something's pulling down doesn't make it bearish, right? It could be retracing on the day, and then you're basically, it's a seller's market, but it's not bearish. Yeah, so understand the terminology a little bit better, bro. So the reason it's coming down is we've captured the liquidity here, right? And then even if you go lower, it's not even been the best volume, to be fair. Right? So since last week, the volume's been very, very choppy. Yes, it's making its way down, you know, from yesterday, but in terms of just what you was getting last week, this is very choppy, bro. So I personally don't trade gold. It's just not a pair for me. Some people like it because it's, you know, they like the volatility or they like how fast it is. I'm not fussed, bro. I'm really not fussed. If it moves, it moves. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I don't really care for gold. So, yeah. What's your thoughts on gold? What's your analysis? What do you think it's doing? As in, are you in a trade? Are you selling it? Where do you think it's going to go? This will be the next target, in my opinion. Yeah, I get you, bro. Thanks for clearing my terms up. Yeah, all good. No, I'm not in the trade at the moment. My analysis is stay the F away. Yeah, gold is it's reckless, man. Long term, honestly, you should be buying gold. Long term, that's what I would say about gold. There's no reason to be selling gold. And again, it goes back to what's happening in the world. Yeah, as long as there's uncertainty, gold will do well. It's been doing well. Gold's been doing well since Russia and Ukraine started a war. Since the war started over there, this has been doing well. Do you understand what I'm saying? So overall, you should be buying it, you know, and you could physically buy it as well. You don't even have to just trade it. Like, for those that own gold, your gold has been increasing in value. Do you know what I mean? If you've just been holding it. So when it comes to the trades, sometimes, guys, just because the market is moving, I said this, yeah, doesn't mean you have a trade. I'd rather buy gold in an exchange than trade it through. Yeah, I mean, I hear it, bro. I hear that. 100% I hear that. 100% I hear that. The only thing with gold when you buy it physically, though, is the taxes. There's a lot of tax applied to it because, you know, if you're they class it as trading gold and stuff like that. So the taxes on gold. But for me, again, it's taken out the high, entered a choppy range, started breaking down, and it's pulling down. So this looks like a nice area to buy, potentially buy on gold, if and when it gets there. Sorry, let me change this again. This area will be cool. Right? Because again, this is where the market started moving up from. So think about it, right? A lot of confirmations. If it comes down, right? Yes, you've taken out this high. So let me just clear this. So this is now an equal high, and there's the overall all-time high right here. Yeah. So if it comes down, think about it from a structure perspective. Yeah. Excuse me. So you had a higher low made, you had a higher high made, or the all-time high made right here. Okay. You had a higher low made, right? And you haven't had a higher high yet. So you're still in a buyer's market. Realistically, you are. So it's just, if it comes down to here, right, you're going to see liquidity getting taken out from people that was buying here, right? They're getting liquidated, and it comes into this area, potential area to buy from. And then your target's going to be here and all-time high. Yeah, or you could even take out, you could put a target above this consolidation as well. That is a target too. So that's how I would look at it. But I'm not, even if it came there, I'm not trading this. I'll leave it for you guys. I'm not trading this. I'm really, I'm content with gold. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. But hopefully that makes sense as to why I'm looking at that area. If you don't, you know, I don't know what concepts you guys are trading, what your strategy is, right? But as long as you have confirmation as to what you're seeing, then, you know, shoot your shot, man. But just remember, if the market is moving and it don't match your criteria to enter, that's okay. Just leave it alone. You don't need to be in a rush to be in a trade. Gold, it's a pullback to go higher. Yeah. Are you buying oil because of the war? Are you selling oil? What's my thoughts on Bitcoin? Gonna be all over the place. What's that, bro? What's gonna be all over the place? I will check Bitcoin now. Let me check Bitcoin. Okay, how do I can I even get to this? Because this chat is in the way on the low. I even get to my watch list, bro. It's peak. Gold will make a 4-hour breaker structure plus a war. No trades for the rest of the week for me. Okay. Plus, I mean, look, the war thing is unpredictable. Truthfully speaking, we don't know what's gonna happen with that. It's very hard to say what's gonna happen with that. It's tough to say, bro. I can't agree with that statement or disagree. No one knows what's gonna happen. If an airstrike happens right now, none of us are in the know until it happens, and then it's just like, what does the market? How does the market react to that? You know, there's never a situation where it's like, yeah, there's a war coming. How do you know that? If you knew there was a war coming, you would position yourself know when to position yourself. Do you get what I mean? No one knows it's going to be so volatile. Yeah, as and when, but there's still opportunity, though. You don't have to avoid. I mean, it really depends on what your strategy is and where you're interested in trading the market. That's it. Truthfully speaking, that is it. There's nowhere else. There's nowhere else. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Let me get this thing though. So someone mentioned Bitcoin. I'll check crypto. For me, so Bitcoin is in a massive imbalance where it can actually get stronger from. Truthfully, it can get stronger from here. Where I mean, it did on Sunday. So what I would say is, with the Nasdaq going higher, I think Bitcoin will go higher as well, as long as the Nasdaq goes higher. Now, again, excuse me. What we saw on Monday was Sunday here, and then going into Monday, it dipped down here, and then it's pushed up. Now, this is kind of following the indices. If for those that look at the Nasdaq, look at US 30, it's done. It's actually done the same thing. So if it came to this area here, right, I would look for buys. Yeah, I would look for buys here. I actually think Bitcoin will go higher as long as nothing stupid happens in the market. In terms of, sorry, not in the market, in the world. I think Bitcoin can actually rally a bit higher. There's reasons to go higher in terms of just liquidity potentially raiding. It's inside that imbalance area. It's dipped into the imbalance area and it's reacted. So it's not like you're not getting any reaction out of there. You've kind of got a reaction from it. If it was to go above here, you know, and close above there, then I would look for something like this. If it went above here, I would look for a dip to then do that. That's what I'd be looking at. But again, where it's at currently, I wouldn't it's got, I mean, there's no volume. It's just sideways. There's no volume. So if it's going sideways, you've kind of, you know, and you haven't positioned yourself, you kind of gotta wait. Kind of just have to chill. There's nothing going on. So that's what I would say for that. Even Ethereum slightly recovered. ETH's funny though, man. Ethereum guys, the Ethereum holders are they ain't doing so well, truthfully speaking. They ain't doing that well. I know guys have been waiting for this to rally to follow Bitcoin, and ain't been doing niche. Ain't done nothing, man. There's better opportunities than ETH. That's what I would say. So let's go back to, let me just check the dollar. See what this is doing. But yeah, what I was saying with US 30, if you look at US 30, it's the same as the Bitcoin chart. Literally, it's the same. If you look at the Nasdaq, I guarantee it's very, very similar. So if this comes down, check if Bitcoin's coming down. That's what I would do. But if if US 30 goes for the high first, it's going to invalidate this idea. It's going to invalidate this buyer idea. But that's what I'm waiting. This is the only thing I'm waiting for today that kind of makes sense to me. So yeah. Yeah, gold. Gold's a mad one, man. Alright, who knows how to do any lot know how to do Rubik's? I need to learn how to do this, man. I bought this Rubik's Cube. This is a very rare. I don't think you can get this. This is, I'm a Nas fan. So this is Nas's last 6 albums, I believe. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 7 albums. No, last 8 albums. God damn. So you got King's Disease, 1, 2, 3, Magic, 1, 2. No, it's his last 6 albums. I'm capping, man. But yeah, I want to learn how to do Rubik's, man, because this is actually a Rubik's Cube, but I'm scared of messing it up. So I've never actually tried it, but it's all mathematics, right? I need to learn how to do that, man. That's a life skill. I need to learn how to do a Rubik's Cube still. But yeah, it's just a waiting game, guys. I'm going to wait for the stock open in 30 minutes. We'll see what happens, man. See what happens. So Thursday gapped open, went here. Sunday came there, boom, went down, pushed up, boom, went up. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we just gotta wait. Look at the volume. Like the volume's even dwindling. You know, there's nothing going on. When the volume is low, it means that the big dudes are chilling. They just had a crazy run. Whatever they was trading yesterday, they've made stupid money. I'm telling you, dumb money. I know someone that traded natural gas. He told me he made $1 million. I had to congratulate him. I was like, "You've done your thing, bro. $1 million." His response was, "I'm chilling." I hear that. $1 million off natural gas. Sounds good. That sounds real good. What is the natural gas acronym? Let's see. Oh, shit. That shit went down, bro. And it was even a clean setup as well. Bait. Look at this. That was too bait, bro. I don't trade natural gas, but that is bait. Friday it was in there. Started coming down. So yeah, it's just a quick slide. Straight out of that daily candle, boy. No games. Pulling back, boom. Pulled up. Okay, yeah, that. Congratulations, bro. What a move. This thing can still head lower though. Okay, there's a gap here, but still. Anything below this level. Maybe some buyers. Let me look on the daily. Nah, the daily's a bit gappy though. So really it's in a range though. I'm talking to myself, by the way, so apologies. Really it was going sideways. It went sideways, it broke upwards first. Yeah, that was a bait. That's bait. It's gonna come for these lows. Okay. Interesting. Alright, 1 second. Alright, cool. Alright, let me check something. Hold on. cool. Let's go back. Hi. Yeah, waiting game right now. Right. Cool. It's looking like stock open. Let's see what's happening, man. Chilling right now. Ain't nothing happening. Market sideways. We got a speech from Chairman Powell as well, but what time was that? Oh, he's speaking at 3 o'clock. Okay, interesting. He's speaking tomorrow as well. We got GDP Thursday. Okay, there's a lot of US news, so yeah, Chairman Powell, 3 p.m. is interesting. What was the inflation? Yeah, the inflation is the same. Alright, cool. What? Inactivity, I don't even know what that means. Turn on the in-game overlay. Control Alt 0. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. We need some volume, but This is what happens. It can get boring. No volume right now. Chilling. I see shorts. Which pair are you talking about? Which shorts, bro? Which pair? Mm-mm-mm. Excuse me.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So wait, there is no wait. I'm baffed, bro. So wait, there's no ceasefire. What the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on? So apparently the ceasefire is not even active. This is a mess. This is nuts. Bro, okay. That's interesting. So apparently the ceasefire is not happening. Apparently it's not happening. That's a shit. This is a shit show for sure. This is crazy, bro. So we dump down. Alright, cool. Let's just look at this then. So we dump down. It's mental. So that's what is going on? All right, guys. So, yeah, it's sounding like these guys ain't agreeing to the agreement. That's what it is sounding like. It's sounding like a shit show. Excuse my language. Alright, guys, we're waiting for the stock open now, so I'm gonna see how US30 reacts to this news. Seeing what's goody. Cool. Let's see what's happening for the stock. Let's see what's happening with the stock open. Alright, cool. Oh shit. Excuse me. Alright, so US30. Hoping we get a pullback. If we get a pullback, then it should be good. If we don't get a pullback, then more of the same, to be honest. So there's 30. Still not much volume in this though. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be monitoring. Yeah, I'm gonna be monitoring this guys going into the stock open. But I'm actually gonna wrap the stream up here. So I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Peace out.